much, and thank you very much.
You know, I just got my copy of this today, so I didn't get a chance to see it. Tell me about it. What's this all about?
A friend of mine, Jude Cole, and I started a music label a couple years ago. Right. And the first artist that we signed is this fantastic band, Rocco DeLuca and the Burden.
Okay.
And we are a new label, and we don't have a lot of employees. We don't have a lot of money.
Right.
So we just decided to do this tour in Europe and try and get something started. And I was telling a friend of mine about it, and he thought it would be a disaster, so he wanted to make a movie out of it. And for some reason, I let him.
And what were your responsibilities?
Well, the reason why he thought it was going to be a disaster was I was going to be the tour manager. So.
Okay, now what exactly are the duties of a tour manager? I mean, you see, partying and things, but what were your exact duties as tour manager?
Haven't a clue.
Really? Wow, that may be part of the problem.
I think that's what they thought was going to be funny.
Did you have to arrange hotel rooms and things?
We did. Well, the company we set up the tickets and the hotel, obviously, in advance, and it was my job to get them from point A to point B to point C, and that's where the humor started. And I have since been fired as their tour manager.
Wow.
I got fired. You'll see that in the documentary. Wow. And the second they fired me, they started to do very well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how did the tour go? I mean, now, was your heart into it? Were you trying, or were you just
Oh, no,
being
absolutely.
Did you really?
Absolutely. I believe...
This was not your calling?
No, it's definitely not my calling. But I have an incredible passion for music, and I have an incredible passion for this artist and for our label.
Gotcha.
So absolutely my heart was behind it. But there was just so much that I didn't know that it was like an avalanche.
Like, now, what happened in Dublin? I heard that was kind of a disaster. What happened there?
We got to Dublin, and we had sold 2 tickets for a 500-seat venue. 2? And generally, it's better if more people show up in the audience than are in the band.
Right, you want to have that. Really, only 2 tickets?
We sold 2 tickets. And I had to buy those tickets back because later on that night, I went from pub to pub to pub in Dublin, Ireland, giving away tickets. Please come to see this show and see this band. And I had to find the 2 people that had actually paid and give them their 20 pounds back.
Wow, that was nice. That was nice. Okay, so how many did you get? Did you get a lot of people?
It actually, in Ireland, it was one of the kind of great experiences of my life. The packed house.
Yeah.
And the boys played just an amazing show.
Okay.
It was the first time they got 2 standing ovations.
Oh, okay.
And in Ireland, when they do a standing ovation, they kind of throw chairs around and they bang the tables about. The band was scared back on stage.
I don't think that's an ovation, but okay, but close enough.
We took it as such.
If they're throwing chairs,
we're a positive
those
group.
are called soccer hooligans, I believe. Now, you play an instrument. Didn't you play trumpet? Because I played trumpet.
I played a few instruments. Trumpet was one of the earlier efforts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that did not go well?
It didn't go well at all. I would get excited when I was actually making the right notes that I would forget to breathe, which is pretty important for a trumpet player. And so I would get about halfway through when the Saints came marching in, I'd be bum, 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 and I would pass out.
And you would pass out?
I would pass out. And
you would forget to breathe?
I would forget to breathe, and I would pass out, and then they put me, they moved me from the 2nd row to the 1st row. So I was the only trumpet player in the front row, and then I would just hit the floor. And then finally, they just gave me a violin and said, try this.
Wow. So acting really is your calling.
It's the only thing I got a shot at.
Oh, wow.
It's the only shot I got.
Now, as I remember, you have, like, your birthday, and it's, like, right before Christmas, right?
December 21st is my birthday.
Okay.
Obviously, Christmas on the 25th and New Year's.
Now, what did you do this year? Did you do...
Well, I turned 40 this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know you don't mean that one. It was a quiet night.
Really?
It was a quiet birthday. It was somber.
Somber?
Yeah, it's funny. I never thought I would be kind of affected by turning any specific age.
Really?
But this one makes you do a little math. Yeah.
Really? Now, what math did it make you do? Because I'm curious. Now, this is fascinating to me. What?
You start figuring out what years you've got left that are going to matter, and you kind of write from 70 on if you're even lucky enough to get there.
Okay.
And you start doing this odd math between 40 to 50. After 50, and then stuff starts to get shorter.
So according to you, I should be dead. I'm 56.
You take care of yourself.
Yeah, I take care of my... And I look like I take care of I take care of myself the way you tour manage, okay? But when we come back, I want to ask you about being mugged. We'll talk about that. More with people right after that.